Hello and welcome everyone, a new episode of Score Sheet. As usual, plenty of sports items, and we do have a very special guest. It's not the first time to have the honor to have him here in our episodes of Score Sheet, but today it's going to be different. We do have more news and we are going to speak in detail about the sport he's an expert in, despite the fact he is that young when it comes to years of age. Right after the short break, I'm going to be back with Omar Orabi, the member of our national team of basketball, so stay tuned only on Nile TV International. Welcome back. Omar, hello.
Hello, and thank you for having me today.
We are honored to have you once again, but to whom it may concern, to those who were not with us in the last time you were our dear guest live here in the studio in Score Sheet, who is Omar Orabi?
I play basketball. I'm a member of the Egyptian national team, and currently I play for Gezira Club. I went abroad for 4 years. I played in the US. I played in college there in the NCAA. I was on scholarship for 4 years. And yes, I've been a member of the national team since I was like 16 years old.
Yep.
And when I finished playing basketball in the US, I came back for the Army service.
And you've just finished?
Yeah, I just finished the Army service. Yes, I just finished my year of Army service last month. And yeah, currently I'm playing with the Gezira Club.
And you are still a member of our national team of basketball?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, we are going to know more about your dreams and if you are going to join NBA, inshallah, in your near future with the experience you have had, whether in the US or here in Egypt, being a member of the national team. But let me check, what are the plans of our national team these days? As just before going on air, you told me that you do have a lot of plans, whether for the Arab Championship or the African qualifications for the World Cup. In detail.
Okay. I mean, we recently, the Egyptian Federation, they hired a Spanish coach. His name is Juan Orenga.
Yeah.
He's very well...
All the Spanish people are Juan?
Yeah, most of them.
Most of them?
Yeah.
Weird.
So, yeah, he's a very well-established coach in Spain. He has a lot of experience with the Spanish national team and with different clubs in Spain. So yeah, they just hired him last summer. And he started working with us on and off these past 2 months because, of course, we have the league games going on right now.
Yeah.
So we didn't get a lot of time to work with him, like to have a closed camp.
Yep.
But we just finished working with him last week. He's like just teaching us his system, how he wants us to play and all that stuff. Because we have a tournament coming up at the end of this month. We have an Arab Championship.
Yeah.
And this will be in Cairo.
Okay.
And then after that, we have the qualifications for the African Championship, which is in the summer. So hopefully, yeah, if we win that, we qualify for the African Championship, which will be played in the Congo in the summer, maybe July or August.
Yep.
Yeah, and then after that, I mean, the long-term goal for the national team is to make it to the next World Cup and to the next Olympics. That's what we're trying
Next
to
World
build.
Cup 2018 and next
2018,
Olympics 2020.
Exactly.
2020.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in Tokyo.
Yeah, Omar, when it comes to what's going on right now, you told me that it's a new, injecting new blood, I should say so,
Yes.
whether from the coaching staff, the Spanish coach you have just told me about, and also the squad itself. First, your impression when you have met for the first time with this Spanish coach. Does he know about us more? He was that much following up the teams playing in the Egyptian Premier League. He made an idea who's to join, who's not to join, stuff like that. Tell me about his impression first when he came to Egypt.
I mean, he knows before he came. Obviously, there's a big difference between the level of basketball in Egypt and in Europe in general.
Sure.
So he knew that coming here, he knew that it wasn't going to be an easy task. But the good thing is that he wants to work. He wants to help us a lot. He knows that we have a lot of talented players. We have a lot of raw talent, but the problem is sometimes here we don't know how to use it or how to bring out the best that's in a player. So hopefully that's what he came to do. He wants to work so hard. He comes to all the league games. He watches all the clubs play, so he gets an idea of how every player plays.
If I wear him, I would be localized in Alexandria. If I wear him.
No, but now actually the games are everywhere. Some games are in Port Said, Suez.
Great, but I don't know why till the moment. When it comes to basketball, it's Al Ittihad, it's Sporting, it's Smuha, and I don't know why. And even it's with the squash, the same story. Those coming from this Mediterranean city are all the time on top of the agenda. I do not know why. Till the moment, I don't know why. Is this true, by the way? If we are going to speak about the squad of our national team, most of them are coming from the Alex teams or divided? Or
I mean, no, right now I would say it's evenly divided between the strongest teams in Egypt, which are right now it's Ahli, Zamalek, Gezira, and Sporting. These are and Ittihad maybe. So these are the 5 teams. I mean, there's a couple of players from each team. It's not focused on only one team. And that's the reason why he comes and watches all the games, so he knows how each player plays. He knows, gets a feel for how everyone likes to play, so that he creates good chemistry between the players that he chooses in the national team. Yeah,
this is the key word: chemistry and harmony. Also, I think that there is a phenomena in Egypt, which is the transitional period in football, in basketball, in volleyball, in handball. There is such a generation, the veteran generation, 30 or even 35 plus, and those who are coming from the juniors or from the Olympic teams, 20, 21, from 20 to 25 maximum. Is this the same story in basketball?
Actually, I would like to say that right now the national team, the oldest player is maybe 28, I would say, 28 or 27, something like that. So right now, all the veteran players, the older players, the more experienced players, they're not in the national team anymore. What they're trying to create now, the federation, is they're trying to create a team that will last for maybe the next 10 years. Trying to create a new generation of players. Some players are even 20 years old, 19 years old, and they're pushing them to start playing with the national team.
But Omar, if you permit me to say so, whenever you don't have a maestro or someone who is able to lead the squad inside the game, it's going to be a chaotic situation.
I mean, right now we still have the older players.
If you want to mention names, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, the older players, like the captain of the national team is Ibrahim Gamal. He's very experienced. He's been in the national team for a very long time. So maybe he's not that old in terms of age, but he has a lot of experience. And there's a couple of other players, most of the players actually, because we started, for me, for example, I started playing with the national team when I was from the under-16 team to the under-18 team, and then I started with the older team. So, I mean, most of us have played in many tournaments, many international tournaments. We played a lot of games, so we still have the experience, and that's where the coach's role comes in, having a coach, a Spanish coach with that much experience, and he's dealt with players of all ages, of all older players, younger players, and everything. So that's where his role comes in to lead the team, to lead a very young team like that. Actually.
But also, I think that it's going to be a great loss if we do not benefit from the experience of the veteran players. They should be there at least to give their experience to the newcomers, to the national team, and to even to have some consultations with the coaching board or the coaching staff to tell them about even the psychology of the Egyptians, how to deal with them. The Spanish and the Egyptians are in a way or another close. You know, the Med people are close to each other in a way. But if you do have some Egyptians in the coaching staff, I think it would be different.
No, of course, the coaching staff, the head coach is the only one that's Spanish. The rest of the coaching staff are Egyptians. And that's where it comes in. They explain to him, they help him a lot with how to deal with Egyptian players, the psychology more or less of dealing with Egyptian players. So that's where, and also when he comes, when he watches all the league games, he talks to all the older players, the more experienced players that are maybe not in the national team anymore, but he talks with them, like consults them on, and they give him some advice, he gives them some advice, and so that's why that he's a guy that's willing to work very hard, and he's come here with a lot of passion to improve basketball in Egypt. So with a guy like that, like, you would never go wrong.
Inshallah.
Yeah, sure.
Omar, let's go a little bit back. My good old days. I was that young, but I do remember how much the Egyptians were there, were that much close to basketball. When it comes to those names, Amr Abu Khair, Midhat Warda, Salawa, and above all, late Riyad Sharara, he was such a commentator and he was such a person who made the Egyptians, all Egyptians, in love with this game, with the game of giants or the basketball. You know, Samir Gouda, I think, was the youngest among them. He was only 17, 18 years old or something like that, but he was 2.15 meters. Why it's not the same now? I mean, now we do have a lot of satellite channels, many sports programs, but we are not following up what's going on. Why? This is the media, I mean, or this is your fault, or whose fault is this?
I mean, there's a big part on the media, actually, because none of the games are like, we play a whole year and almost no games are broadcast on TV from the Egyptian league, like on the local, even on the local channels, no games are broadcast on TV. And also a big factor is that there are no fans at the games now, like in football. So that's a huge problem because...
big one, yes.
Yeah, there's like, sports is all about fans in general, like all sports, it's about the fans. It's about the energy you get from the fans playing in the stadium in front of a stadium packed with fans. So that also impacted the game in a very bad way after, like, since the revolution in 2011. The league since then, it's been without any fans. So
we hope that this is going to change. This is going to have an end that soon. Regarding Omar, right after a year, you were not far from basketball. You told me that you were playing in Al Jazeera and you were also attached in a way or another to sports when you were in the army service. But tomorrow is another day. Now the case is different. What are your hopes, your dreams? What are you going to do in the near future and your dreams for the far future?
My dream is to, like, I'm going to finish the season with Jazeera Club. My dream is to try and play overseas, try and make it back to.
I mean, you have plans for that?
Yes, of course. Like once I'm done with the season here, I will try to see my options of maybe playing, going back to the US, trying giving it another shot over there at the NBA, trying to make it over there. There's also now, there's a lot of options in European countries, in the Middle East. So actually basketball has spread all over the world. It's become more of an international sport. It used to be only the US and the NBA, and that was it. But now it's spread all over the world. So there's a lot of good teams and a lot of very high-level basketball in a lot of countries, in Europe, in the Middle East.
But all the time, the NBA has another taste.
Yeah, of course. That's the ultimate dream for any player. Like,
no, I mean, even if you are just a fan and you are just watching this and watching that, you would know the difference even if you don't know who is playing against who.
Of course, that's like, I mean, NBA is like the best of the world.
La crème de la crème, as
yes, of course.
the French are saying.
But I mean, right now, actually, if you watch games in Europe, they're starting to build the same atmosphere in the stadiums and the games. Like people go, like 40,000 people go to watch a basketball game in Europe sometimes. So it's starting to gain a lot of popularity in Europe. It's actually very popular now. And
who are the heavyweight countries if it comes to basketball from Europe?
Spain, Russia, like it's the same as football. Real Madrid and Barcelona. And then it's Russia is very good as well. Lithuania, a lot of Eastern European countries are very good in basketball. These are the countries that do well in Olympics.
Eastern Europe, you mean?
Yes, Serbia, Lithuania.
Eastern Europe.
Yes, Eastern Europe. These countries do very well in the Olympics and the World Cup and these tournaments. And also their clubs are very good. So there's the Euro League. So that's more, and also teams from Turkey also are very good. The Turkish basketball is very good as well. Greece. So yeah, there's, like I told you, there's a lot of countries that emphasize basketball, so it's not only about football anymore.
Also, just before being on air, we were speaking a little bit about the new tactics of football, because this is another way of being successful in a sport or in a game, far from the traditional way. Which do you prefer first?
You mean the traditional way or the new way? No, you have to adapt to the new situations. And if you stick to the traditional way and you stick to old ways, then you're gonna get left back.
Let me put my question in other words. Which do you enjoy more?
I mean, right now, basketball is turning into a more like fast-paced game. It's all about fast breaks and running up and down. There's no more like all the world, even in the NBA and in Europe, they're trying to play less 5-on-5 basketball, half-court basketball. It's more about transition and scoring quickly, scoring fast break points. So that's the emphasis now. And I mean, you have to go with the flow. You have to adapt to how like basketball has been developing over the years to keep up with the pace. Yes.
Yeah. But I do have some role models. We were also speaking about LeBron James and what LeBron James is doing with the Cavaliers. Do you have LeBron James the role model, or you do have a lot of other names?
Yeah, of course, because LeBron James he doesn't play my position, but of course he's the best player in the world. So he's everyone's role model when it comes to basketball. But
I told you, for me, it was not because only of his way, but because his donation to the exhibition of Muhammad Ali, millions of dollars just to show respect to this icon. This is what sport for me is for.
Yeah, it's more than just playing on the court. It's now there's this, like, I mean, in sports everywhere, community service is involved in sports, giving back to the community, giving back to the people in the places where you live, helping less fortunate people in areas around you. So sports is now there's like a lot of things come into sports. You actually make the world a better place. People that watch sports, you bring joy to people that watch sports. Like Egypt, when they beat Ghana last in the football, you see how happy everyone was in Egypt and the joy that people were in. So that's what I love about sports. And we were happy even more
because of the fans who were there and how the standings were filled with thousands, tens of thousands of people, which was another image which we hope that it's going to continue and to be resumed as quick as possible. Okay, tomorrow is another day. Europe or America?
I mean, the ultimate dream is going to the NBA, obviously. So
but Europe can be a transitional period.
Yeah, that's what you aim for. But I mean, you have to always aim for the highest.
High.
Yeah, aim high. So that's the goal, that's the target, and hopefully, inshallah, we'll see what will happen after the season.
Before going to our sports items, because we do have all our a lot of sports items, and you are going to turn to be our sports analyst for the rest of our episode. Let me take your opinion about the current level or standard of the Arab and African teams, because as you've kindly mentioned that we are going to go or to be involved into Arab Championship and the African Championship or the African qualifications. Where is Egypt among those?
Among the Arab teams, we're supposed in the Arab world, the strongest teams are maybe Tunisia and Morocco and Egypt.
North Africa.
So, yeah, the North African teams, Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt, and sometimes Algeria. So these are maybe the four strongest. And actually, no, but there's Lebanon and there's Qatar, but they don't usually participate all the time in these tournaments. So. And they're also not from Africa, so when it comes to Africa, it's Angola, Nigeria. Nigeria actually won the last episode of the African Championship, and they made it to the Olympics.
Yep.
And they actually played very well in the Olympics, and they're starting to consider having more African teams participate in the Olympics and World Cup because of how well Nigeria played. Nigeria, they played very well. So yeah, so we're starting to shift away from Angola. They've been dominating basketball in Africa for like the last 30 years. So we're starting to move away from that a little bit. It's starting to get a little bit more competitive. Between Tunisia is also a very strong team now in Africa. And yes, Senegal is also
depending
very strong.
on their physical or mental fitness, Omar. Because the Black Africa, in any game, they are very much famous for their power, their strength, their physical fitness. Also, depending on that in basketball.
Yeah, of course, but like I mean, a long time ago, it used to be like that. African teams, they only used to depend on physical fitness and being strong. But now they've also added the factor that. They have very smart players. They brought a lot of coaches from European coaches, like we're starting to do now. They took that step before us.
Yeah.
So they had like Angola. They've had a Portuguese coach and Spanish coach, and they've had Nigeria have an American coach now. So they've started to consult coaches from countries that have a higher level of basketball, and that's why they are where they are now. That's why they're the top teams in Africa. So that's why we hope that with this move that we took this year, that we hopefully reach this level.
I think there is a lot of elements to be listed. The coaches from countries which are that much famous in basketball and high standard of basketball, injecting new blood, having new talents, introducing the new tactics, and to a little bit go a little bit far from the traditional basketball to adapt with the current rules or current styles. And number four, which I think is more important, to have this harmony among the players. Do you have something else to be added?
No, that's basically all. The most important thing actually is having good chemistry and good harmony between the players, because if you have the best players in the world but they don't play well together, because basketball in the end it's a team sport. It's not like tennis or squash. These are individual sports, so you just have to be good at it personally. But in basketball, you can have the 5 best players in the world, but if they don't play well together, then the team is going to lose. And we've seen that a lot in the NBA. We've seen it everywhere in the world, actually. Like here in Egypt, sometimes you have teams that have the best players in Egypt, but they don't play well together. So,
and especially when it comes to national teams, when you are picking a player from here and another from there, and a third from the EuroLeague or from any place outside his country, when he comes back, he is not that much well adapted with the others. So, as you said, it's a disaster.
Yeah, the main thing is like making sure that these players play well together and have they like to play with each other. That's the most important thing.
Omar, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's all we have with Omar, the basketballer or the member of our national team. Right after the short break, we are going to be back with another Omar, the sports analyst, as we do have a lot of items coming from all over the world and with many other sports. So stay tuned only on Nile TV International. Welcome back. We are going to start with the Clasico, or El Clasico, as we do have a Barça fan and another who is a Real Madrid fan or Los Blancos fan. Okay, it ends with 1-1. Well, Ramos heads late equalizer as Real Madrid deny Barcelona in El Clasico. Sergio Ramos scored in the 90th minute to secure Real Madrid a 1-1 draw at Barcelona in Saturday's Clasico match at Camp Nou. Ramos charged into hit Luka Modric's free kick past goalkeeper Marc-Andre de Stegen. Am I pronouncing his name right?
Yeah, ter Stegen,
okay.
I think.
Stegen,
yeah.
Who got a hand on the ball but could not keep it out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
With this equalizer, congratulations.
Yes.
How was it?
We're still #1 in the league, so I'm happy.
Okay, great.
6 points ahead now.
I would say that this Clasico is for Egyptians like Al Ahly and Zamalek.
Yeah.
I think all the fans are watching this as if they are watching Al Ahly and Zamalek.
Yeah, I mean, Egyptians love football, so any football game in Europe, you find people on the streets watching it as if it's the Egyptian team playing. So
we are going to go back to football, but we do have a very important phone call as we do have some good news for all Egyptians. And when it comes to squash, it's all the time good news. Egypt wins Women's World Championship with victory over England. Egypt won its third Women's World Team Championship title after beating England 2-1 in France, and this was just earlier. England took the lead, but the Pharaohs stormed back to clinch the prestigious title, and we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Mr. Asim Khalifa, the president of the Egyptian Federation of Squash. Mr. Khalifa, hello.
Hello.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Oh, despite the fact that Laura Massaro was about to deprive us from feeling that we are back on track, the other Egyptian players did it, and we came from behind to clinch the title. How was your feeling first after being defeated, and what was your feeling when you were listening to the national anthem after we clinched the title?
I can say, that the match between Egypt and England, I was expecting to be the dramatic match since before they traveled. And I warned them that the players will be very aggressive with the Egyptian players. That's why I give them my warning. It will be a very difficult match.
Yeah.
So Laura Massaro, she of course, the #1 player in each team, like Nouri Sherbini or like Laura Massaro, or they have the very, very critical and difficult matches.
Yes.
So for Nouri Sherbini, she was playing the day before. with the French player. Very tough match, and she wins 3-love, and at the second day she have Laura Massaro. So it was 2 consecutive very difficult match.
Yes.
In 2 consecutive days.
I don't know why I feel that all the time. Nour Sherbini with Laura Massaro, it's just like Nick Matthew and Shourbaghi, for example. Egypt versus England, the matches have another taste, or it's such a rivalry.
Usually, the last 2-3 matches, Nour Sherbini, she win. But the team event for Egypt and England is something else. The players, play as if it's a war.
It is a battle. Yes, it's a marathon inside the glass court.
They play, they get everything they have, and it's usually a tough match.
But congratulations to the 4 girls, and congratulations to Amr Shabana, to the federation.
Amr Shabana was expecting that, and he prepared the other 2 players to play the other 2 matches.
Yeah.
He knows very well that he will lose. He will win 2-1, and he told me that. But is very risky, you know.
Yes.
But let me tell you something. We will not win 3-love all the time. You know.
Sure.
You know, the other nations will not let you alone and let you, you know, as if, you know, each match is a piece of cake for us. No, we have to see that there is a tough matches you should face, and I know that.
And this is the beauty of the game, sir.
Our girls, you know, is capable enough to win the matches with the tough circumstances.
Mr. Asim Khalifa, we are going to leave you, sir, with a promise that we are going to have you, along with our players, here live in the studio to congratulate you all and to introduce all what you're doing to our dear viewers, whether in Egypt or worldwide. Promise?
Thank you very much, and I promise. You know, if I succeed to get them, all of them, you know, it will be very difficult, but I will try hard to fulfill my promise, I'm sure.
Thank you, sir. And congratulations once again. Omar, are you following what's going on in squash?
Yeah, of course I hear the news about, I know that Egypt is dominating in squash in all the tournaments, and that's a very good image for Egypt
they are
in the world.
So, as we do have a lot of other headlines, we are going to go immediately and return back to football, since you are such a fan of the Spanish league, and in specific to what's going on between Ronaldo and Messi. Ronaldo, Messi and Griezmann, who is going to be awarded with the Ballon d'Or. Ronaldo, Messi and Griezmann to contest FIFA's annual award. Frenchman Antoine Griezmann joined regulars Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo on the short list of FIFA's Player of the Year award, and this was on Friday. Claudio Ranieri, Fernando Santos, the men behind two of the year's biggest surprises, were also nominated for the Best Coach award alongside Real Madrid's Zinedine Zidane. I think it's a usual list. I mean, all of them were expected to be included.
Yeah, of course, Ronaldo and Messi, they're on the list every year, so that's expected. And Griezmann, he also had a very good season this year, so he deserves to be on that list.
On the list.
Yeah.
But do you... Of course, I'm not here going to speak about a fan of Ronaldo, but I think Ronaldo, was what he has done with Portugal, he really deserved that.
Yeah, I think this year they're going to give it to him because what he did with the Portuguese team, they won the Euro for the first time, and
against France.
Against France, on their
own land,
on their own court. So, yeah, I think he really deserves it this year, and he also had a great season with Real Madrid. They won the Champions League, and Zidane, he's doing a great job with them. So, yeah, I think. This year, it's his prize.
And because of this, every time I remember how he was playing in the World Cup, and I remember what was with the rumors spread about this black magic issue. Wow, this is another story.
Yeah, he was also being criticized
a lot.
Whenever he played with the Portugal. He always gets criticized that he doesn't know how to play with them. So yeah, this year he proved that he won the title with them.
Somebody never ends when it comes to football. Sepp Blatter. Once again, we are waiting to see tomorrow what Sepp Blatter is going to do with football once again, despite the fact that the guy is 80. CAS to rule tomorrow on Monday on Blatter's ban from soccer. Former FIFA President Sepp Blatter will discover whether he has won his appeal against 6-year ban from football imposed for ethics violations amid the biggest corruption scandal ever in the world soccer body. How?
I don't know.
This man is amazing. Do you have any explanation why he want to continue after this scandal?
I don't know. I think if I were him, I'd just rest my mind and live peacefully away from all the media and away from all. But I don't know. I mean, some people, they just don't know how to let go.
This is, I mean, what I call a pro. He is a pro, and he want to continue till the last minute of his life. I do respect his determination. Let me return to our local football. Ahli or Zamalek?
Ahli, of course.
Of course. But we are going to go to El Zamalek. El Zamalek reappoint Helmi as a first-team manager. And under Helmi, El Zamalek strolled to easy 3-0 league win to give coach Helmi a winning start. What about all those coaches going from a place to the other as if it is the musical seats game? It's not only in Zamalek, but Zamalek was on top of those games. How do you see this, of those teams, I mean?
I mean, obviously, it's not a very good thing. Like you said, Zamalek is the team that changed the most coaches, but Ahli also changed coaches a lot last year. A lot of other teams in Egypt, Ismaili, Al Masri, they also changed coaches throughout the year. So it's not a good thing in sports to have that much change. You have to have, sometimes you just need to have some stability and
at least for one season.
Yeah, of course, at least for throughout the season, for players to get used to each other, get used to their coaches. But when you have that change all the time, it's hard to win games.
We are going to go immediately to Al Ahli and Al Zamalek, mourning the victims of the Brazil, one of the Brazil's team, Chapecoense, I think, after the plane crash. This was a tragedy.
Yeah.
Al Ahli and Al Zamalek, leading clubs, mourned the victims of the Brazilian side, Chapecoense, after the plane carrying them crashed in Colombia on Tuesday. I hope that this is going to be the last tragedy when it comes to such an accident, an air accident. And we are going to end with Salah. Salah will be fit for 2017 African Cup of Nations, says Egypt coach, but Salah has such a serious injury which is going to take him out of the field for at least 3 weeks. How do you see Salah as an experience or as an ambassador to Egypt in many of the Champions League, the European ones?
I mean, he's the best right now. He's the best ambassador to Egypt worldwide. He's everyone watches him, like little kids now in Egypt. Their role model is Salah. Everyone coming up right now, they have their role model is Salah. So, like, I mean, he's done a very good job. He's followed his dreams. He's pursued his dreams. He's worked extremely hard to reach where he is right now, and now he's the most important player on the Egyptian team. So
Omar, at a time, most of our experiences as pros outside Egypt in football, it was a failure. I don't know why. It's just becoming better with Salah, with Kuka, with Ramadan Subhi, with the Mohammadi, with the Nini, and those are doing great. Do you think because of their age, because they started early, because of knowing well that language is a very important issue, so they took care of this? Why?
I mean, yeah, these are all factors. Obviously they went at a much younger age than players used to go before. And I also think that they learned from past experiences from players that went before. They learned that if you go try to play professional in Europe or something like that, if you don't focus and you don't be 100% committed to your sport, then you're going to fail and you're going to be viewed.
Not gonna work.
Yeah, you're going to be viewed by everyone as a failure. So that's the worst feeling you can have as an athlete. So. I think they learned from the people before them, and that's a good thing that now we have a lot of players that are playing in Europe, and we actually have in many different sports, we have players playing overseas, and that's a great thing for Egypt that now...
And inshallah, you're going to be one of them.
Inshallah, hopefully.
Omar Orabi, our sports analyst and a member of our national team of basketball, thank you very much for your input, and we hope that we are going to see you again with more successful experiences in Score Sheet and on the Nile TV International screen.
Inshallah. Thank you very much for having me. It was an honor being here for the second time.
Thank you very much. Well, by this, we come to the end of this very special episode with this very special guest. Stay tuned only on Nile TV International, always for more. For more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. On behalf of Dr. Muhammad Rabia, Amr Fathallah, the staff of our Studio 35, and myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman, many thanks for watching, always and forever. Assalamu alaikum.